Hello everyone and welcome back to another portfolio update. In this update, I'm sitting at $291,822 inside of my Wealthsimple account, and it has been a great month for dividends. I got my annual payment for VEQT, and VDY also paid twice this month. So that's really brought my total up for the month quite substantially up to 1655 for the month. So just a little breakdown here in the graph. I had to like extend it because had gone so far above what I was expecting. So, but here we go. So VFE 176, VDY 251, VIU 110, VE 122, ESPX 288, ETSX 185, and then VQT 468 and 5135 from SBLT. So excellent month in terms of dividends and a bit of capital appreciation as well from December. So up from 284, 148. So looking like about a 7K jump there. So that's pretty nice. So the start to this year has been pretty interesting. So um, the run up in gold has been quite crazy, and silver as well. I only hold gold in my portfolio, so I'll just focus on gold, but it's been up. It was up significantly, and then actually yesterday it fell like by 10%. So, um, and gold had gone above $5,000 troy ounce. So it seems like just yesterday that we hit 4K, and now we hit 5K, and it was on its way to 6K, but there was a bit of a pullback after Trump announced his Fed chair pick. So I think they're expecting a stronger US dollar. The dollar rallied yesterday and gold and silver went down. So, but so far it's already been a great start for gold this year. It's my best position up 73.52%. So I'm still happy with that. I don't have any plans to sell it because I don't see the situation changing anytime soon. So yeah, so as far as the portfolio, I mean, we've had very little action so far in the equity markets. There's just, up slightly. So that's what contributed to that slight capital appreciation from the last update. So not really much to report on that front. You can just see it's a bit of zigzagging, general upwards, but a bit of zigzagging to be honest. So, and then in terms of if I go here to my employer, our registered pension plan and employee savings plan, I actually did make a few changes in here. So I was 100% invested in this TD Emerald US Equity Index Fund, and I was just thinking it over, and I really wanted to just make sure I'm diversified in here as well. So basically, what I did is I emulated a VEQT inside of my pension, just using the funds that they had available. So there's a US Equity Index Fund from TD Emerald, Canadian Equity Index Fund, and an International Equity Index Fund. There was no emerging markets one, so what I did is I basically subtracted the emerging markets portion from VEQT or XEQT, and then I redistributed the weight and ended up, and I just kind of made it a little bit round. I made the US equity 40%, the Canadian equity 25, and the international equity 35. So happy with that change. I expect the US market to potentially underperform and the Canadian international markets to do even better in the next couple of years. So I really see that as a good decision. I wish I did it earlier because in 2025 the international and Canadian markets outperformed the US market quite substantially. So yeah, just making that change. I didn't want to be 100% invested in my pension in the US. So even though I'll continue in my RSP to avoid that withholding tax and just buy VOO. So I figured I didn't want to have two places where I'm just 100% US equity. So I think in my RSP I'll continue just keep buying VOO because of that tax, avoiding that withholding tax in the RSP. It's the only account where you can do it, so might as well. So I don't mind doing that in that account. So in terms of budgeting, this month I've been on a bit of a spending spree. So I did, it's we have now our extra taxes on our paychecks now. Now that's January. So and I had bought a new bike that was $2,600, and I also bought a Zwift trainer for the bike so that I can bike indoors. So it was a good time to buy a bike. Honestly, the better to buy it now than in the spring when it's going to be more expensive. So, and when there's more demand, so less demand now, prices are generally a little bit better. So, yeah, I got a XL carbon road bike for, yeah, 2,600 bucks. So, yeah, a bit of a negative balance, but I'm going to get my bonus in February, just like in previous years. You can see here, like February is generally a very high income month for me. So 2024 was like 14,000, like almost 15K. February 12.5K. So I'm not worried about doing a negative balance for January so far, because February I'm gonna have get my bonus, and it should be pretty good that way. So investments though, I'm aligned to my plan so far. I've got this my investment plan is not set in stone. I'm gonna like change it as I go. I'm going to, I think with my bonus, max out my FHSA right away, and then use the rest of it for just covering a bit more expenses like that bike for sure. And so that expect that number to go up. I want to still invest. So the goal is for 2026 to invest 30,000, slightly less than 2025. So 33,000. And you can see even just with a bike, the 2,600 bucks, like yeah, it's gonna be harder to invest that same amount, 33K. So bit of a spending spree, but I figured I want to buy some stuff, and so this year I'm lowering my expectation a little bit. So even if I might get a pay raise, and I think it'll all even out. I think 30K is a pretty good goal to have, to be honest. So happy with that. But otherwise, yeah, I'm very happy with how the portfolio is performing. Getting very close to that 300K mark. I was at 296, I believe, up until a couple days ago when the market started tanking a little bit, but not too worried about that. If you just I'd say just turn off your not ignore the news. I mean, but take it with a grain of salt. There's always gonna be something that happens week to week. So just stay the course, and yeah, um, just keep riding the wave, honestly. So a little bit of the little pullbacks happen all the time. So just use it as a good buying opportunity. I know I did buying some more VQT on Friday. So steadily progressing. I want to max out that FHSA very soon. So yeah, so that's about it for this update, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.